Alright, so we are live. Take two. I had a little catastrophic failure with my green screen. Fell off my chair, so we'll try again. We're going to be playing Burnout 2, Point of Impact on PS2. It will be played on my Retroid Pocket 6 console, as you can see there, next to Picazard. We've got our game setup going, so let me get in. I will be playing on a Switch controller, so wirelessly connected to my Retroid. We'll be hopefully unlocking some new, so unlock win gold in winding. So I have to get gold on all the races to unlock the face-off 2. I'll warn you ahead of time, I do have the patch code entered in to have boost the entire time, so you can call it amplifier. Just trying to unlock stuff in the game, get further along, so don't have to always use the police car for that fast vehicle. The audio won't blown out by the console. Definitely one of those games that I played with my buddies on their PS2 at their house for hours on end. I mean, we mostly played the Crash mode. Got a Crash and you can see, but I know we also raced around airport and highway tracks a lot. Right now, because I'm a little rusty, but I should be pretty good. Playing this 4 times resolution on Nether SX. I've had really good luck with that emulator on Retroid Pocket 6. Playing PS2 games. Playing a little bit of a fan kicking on. To be expected when you're upscaling times 4 and out and those texture packs. I can do a video talking about where to download the texture packs. Awesome community of PS2 texture pack creators. I downloaded a couple of games like Katamari and Burnout 2 from, he has a Patreon, and he also opens it up once a month to allow people to download, which is awesome to get back to the community. But it's great to support it. I have a video talking about how I was able to get Burnout 2 to play full speed during races and not have to slow down. It actually had to do with audio settings tweaked because when you use Burnout, use that turbo mode, changes the audio speed. Everything out in the software, and it apparently was the blue cars for my slowdown. I was going from solid 60 FPS to about 45, off and on, off and on. It was driving me crazy. I thought it was something to do with latency with my TV until I finally figured out it was doing it on the console too. I didn't really notice it as much with the high refresh rate on the Retroid 5.6, the 120 hertz. It just wasn't as prominent, and so when I put my Retroid 5.6 into the TV, it was very noticeable because my TV's got just the 60 hertz 4K. So once I got that figured out, now I'm able to play this game on console or on the TV and just really enjoy every second of it. You will notice in the menu you tend to have some weird hiccups. It isn't enough to like cause me to select the wrong menu item, thankfully, or at least pretty annoying, but I have happily traded slowdown during race to the rest of the menu. Okay, compromise in my mind. I'm sure I can figure out why the menus are slowing down, but it's been annoying enough to kind of search why that would be. An airport I would actually want to drop somebody off at, or be dropped off at. Rain and dark and very busy. I'm very happy that my purchased USB-C HDMI capture card. I'm actually playing off the screen, VS. Play this, good enough. See it? So if I look down, that's me looking at the screen down there, but I have my monitor up. And not enough of a lag to notice it. Capture card if that was the case. Review on our channel. There's a capture card. I do appreciate any work that is clicking on it. Amazon or Retroid link and shopping. No additional cost to you, but no pressure. Just going fine. If you're about to make an Amazon purchase, click on our storefront or click one of the links and stuff you buy. That's a little commission through Amazon or Retroid. Helps us to make more content for you. Gold if I keep crashing. Gotta get gold on one of these races in this series in order to unlock that new series. Or not the this game goes back to that era of very arcade racing. I remember before playing this game, practicing playing Twisted Metal on PS1. I tried to play that on my Retroid Pocket 6, and I didn't remember the graphics being as rough as they are. We put up with polygons back in the day. I know I'm a Super Mario Brothers player, so I shouldn't be complaining that 8-bit pixelated. But it is frustrating that play those games I remember reading magazine headline captions that said hyper-realistic, photorealistic players. The Madden 1987. Oh, that's kind of cut me off. It was just like there were no fingers, there was no hand. It was just a single triangle for the entire arm of a football player. The football was triangular, and it was like back then we didn't have the face of Brett Favre, we didn't have John Elway as a photo. It was some artist at the gaming developer had probably hand drawn each person. It was a big deal to go from just generic QB, center, running back to actual numbers. I remember being excited that Barry Sanders was a playable player in Madden, but there were still, even in those days, there were still linemen and other players that were nameless. But they would just be number 10, the punter, and it would just have PT would be their name on their back. And it was just normal because they only had so much information to go from. I don't know if it was that the player got drafted differently or they didn't fill out some paperwork or something, but it was different day and age. You'd have the big players' names and maybe something that looked a little bit like them, but it was usually pretty rough still. Usually their face was, each eye was a dot and their mouth was 2 dots, and their helmet was just a jagged edge in front of them. But it was still three-dimensional. I vividly remember going to somebody's house that had, I want to say they had an N64, and they were playing Madden, probably 95, 96, and I was blown away by the fact that the players were three-dimensional, and it felt like you were watching a football game on TV compared to the top view football that I was used to. Everything was a lot more like playing, I guess you would almost say it was like foosball, or like my brothers had the vibrating football stadium that you set up little foam players and you would turn a dial. It was just a manual vibration of the playing surface, and you have a little foam football you attach to one of the guy's hands and you say hike and they would turn the dial and it would go which would kind of vibrate the whole playing field, and so the little guys, little players would move around. I feel like that's what early football was on gaming systems. But it was all about the strategy of setup and do the play and then pick another playbook play. And yeah, as soon as you went three-dimensional, it's like there were actual people throwing a football from back to forward, and there were legs moving and arms flailing and touchdown celebrations. That was a big deal when one of the features added to Madden around turn of the century was being able to have a player spike the football like the actual player did during a normal football game. It's come a long way. Now everything really, I can't say it isn't hyper-realistic when you call it realistic. Even once you got to the PS2, it was a lot more detail, a lot more crowd. So I know from all this, how I've kind of compared the different eras, that now we've got whatever billions of polygons being drawn just for the sake of one game. I think these games are networks, that definitely still amazes me. One of these streams I'll do Gran Turismo. It's one of my favorites, although it's a frustrating game because you really have to be on the top of your game to even look acceptable. Gran Turismo. A simulator, not a video game. That's what makes it enjoyable. Shoe in who's gonna win. Just explaining this game to people that have never played it. Like, well, you get points and bonuses and you win stuff for almost crashing while street racing. Yeah, I'm not sure this game is really teaching us what it should be teaching us about, say, driving or when you're coming Burnout games and got in their car and just for the record, I'm a very safe driver, so shows on the gameplay too. Very good. Alright, so I pulled that off. I can't remember if this is a 3 or a 4. Yeah, I think crashes up there. Grand Prix 1. Okay, so I unlocked Face Off 2. Yeah, I called that a pursuit earlier. I meant Face Off. Okay, so now in this race, I unlock a secret car. Let's use the police car. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. NASCAR. Very difficult, but as I said before, I've got the patch code. Code so that the boost is going non-stop. So I want to pick some of these cars. was already turned on, but I was still trying to tweak the settings to see what exactly was causing me to slow down. And I used the patch code for no NPC cars, and it was freaky to see the tracks going empty, not having all of the traffic. Playable at FPS and not, because I'm like, I don't really think everybody that's part of what makes this particular game unique. I mean, back in this era, there was not a lot of what felt like open world games with cars driving around. I know GTA 3 and Vice City and San Andreas were around, but I mean it wasn't the same physics of arcade racing like those. I'm not sure. The NASCAR is fun. Crash road. I'm not sure I'm very good with it. I think racing that gets got a lot of control issue. All of these cars. Oh, there we go. Dark. Yeah. It's shadowy. It's real hard to Alright, let's try that again. Oops. Right color. Yes, it remains unlocked. Or it remains locked. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, I'll pay attention. Check real quick. Yeah, so it's definitely playing. Let's see. I'll go ahead and turn it down just a tad, just to make sure I'm not still getting used to settings and officially I remember thinking how funny it was in personal assistant devices. Yeah, the names because I might trigger some of that, but yeah, good time mode. I know people use it today, so I'm not saying it's strange now, but I remember when that was a new idea. But you're saying into technology and it's in bed. Make a whole program and then you wake up and it'll turn to 11. Era we live in. Okay, that's 3 times. If I lose, it'll be because I hit that curve. Yeah, the first time I paired a controller to my Retroid, I was just like, this is wild. It's a handheld device, basically a controller with a screen, and I've just connected a controller to it. So cool. I think it was my army hooked up to the TV. But yeah, this is really cool. Tiny little device, not even like a Switch where it's like docked and rated by the docked into if I hadn't done that. Okay, well, we have to go somewhere else. Let's do some crash mode. That's always fun. I don't like the freeway. Let's go. I think it's 4. We'll just do them all. No reason not to. Alright. So we are gonna wreak havoc on the interstate. The gas prices are so low. $1.40 for gas. Love it. Go. That one's tough. Sometimes you miss hitting anybody and you fail. Oh, I think this is what I thought it was. It goes down. Go right. Try to launch some people into this intersection. Tanker. Buses. I love how everybody brakes just lock up. Just immediately. They're like everybody pulled their e-brake and sorry, camera. Yeah, that was pretty good. Times 16. I collected a lot of. Oh, and it's still only bronze. Alright. Next. There's one of these downhill ones. That's a lot of fun. 3, 2, 1, go! This one's tough. Look at that bus. I didn't even hit that bus on the left. Skidding out of control. Can you imagine being a passenger on that bus and they just lock up the brakes and oh, they flipped. Okay, well, I really don't want to imagine being a passenger on that bus. Times 4. It's over. This one will go around the corner to the left. Taxi. Yeah, load up. Let's turn the lights off. As soon as it locked up the brakes. Oh, did not even get bronze. I gotta get 17 million to get gold. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so if I can bounce into the other lane, maybe we can get some of the vehicles going that way. There we go. Okay, so I've got up to... I still don't think I got gold. Yep, 16. That was close. I want to find that one downhill. Oops. Okay, well, we'll do it again. 3, 2, 1, oh, that's the wrong way. Almost like a knockout bus. Yeah, now it's in the lane. Opposite way. There we go. Might do it. 21. Awesome. These hilly, snowy mountain areas just makes me never want to drive in Kentucky and West Virginia and the hills during the winter. That's the idea of being in this game. Semi-buses and yeah, I didn't think I did very good. I'm not very good with the hills. Let's try. No, that's still low. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, I think my controller just disconnected or something. I lost. Do a restart because I lost analog. I think that's how it wants to go. There we go. I don't know why that this. Sometimes the right analog stops the accelerator. I don't know what kind of software glitch happened. If I hit something, I think I will get the 10th. Okay, there we go. Oh. Nope, didn't even place. Do one more zone, and then we'll get back to racing. I knew it. Just clicked them, and I just fly into no man's land. I think at one point you hit an invisible wall. No, I didn't. I hit the mountain. Just they'll never find me. Yeah, that was horrific. Failed to crash. Okay, so let's do this final race. Me and it crashed me. I'd rather it, you know, I have had those situations with this game where you would rather crash because it resets than get pinned somewhere. If it delays you like 20 seconds to be pinned, the crash goes through its animation and then it places you back on the road facing the right way, everything's ready to go again. And stuck somewhere. Oh, my OBS disconnected or something. Let's see how course, I sing the praise of the capture card, and it goes out. There we go. Retroid must have just not wanted to go much longer. There we go. All right, let's that place. That's terrible. Bronze medal. Not winning anything with third place and 7 crashes. Ooh, roller coaster Grand Prix. Oh, didn't know I would unlock anything. Don't really want to do. Okay, so I need to still win this face off with the NASCAR. Acceleration of the race car, perhaps the advantage of forces all the time. I've got a big record, right? Pinball. Now that's a fun game to play. My goodness. Physics weren't really that realistic to pinball, but once you got used to it, you could go a long time playing that. It's a ball game, and you can insert in coins. Two flippers down low, and then the third flipper in the middle. The bumper. I don't know what they call those circle bumper points that you put the ball up there. If you hit space bar, you can shake the ball table. but if you shook it more than about twice, if you hit the spacebar twice, it would help. So here, and the flippers would turn off. I think at the time it was probably considered very realistic. I mean, obviously we were talking about that back then. I'll have to get that going for a live stream. Everybody can watch me. The glory days in pinball. Alright, well, I appreciate everybody who tuned in and anybody who watches this later. We'll do another live stream soon. Thank you for watching.